Hey, welcome back to another Wake Up Humans episode. My man, Dr. Drew Henderson, and I'm Steve Judson. What's going on, guy?
N- Not much, man. It is another great day in practice. You know how it is. It's Monday's favorite day of the week, and
Drew, I'm literally laughing because you and I are talking before I hit record, and I'm like, we're having a great conversation. Wait a minute, we should be recording this.
we got to record. What are we doing? We're just talking.
We're just like jumping right in talking about, and it's like every week we've got everything we want to tie back into chiropractic, right? That's
Hmm.
that's our that's our walk in life. That's our world. Is to bring chiropractic to the world the way we know it. History of chiropractic, and we were
Yep.
just talking about. I stayed up late last night. It is Monday. What's today? Today is June
Six,
16th or 5th,
15th,
June
15th.
15th. And
Yep.
last night was the UFC 250 Freedom Fight held on the lawn of the White House, bro.
It's crazy, man. I couldn't stay up for all of it. I watched most of it, but I'm like, dude, I got to go to bed. So I watched the last fight. I watched the highlights of, but it was amazing to see that and the patriotism that was last night, even in the commercials, like you were talking about.
That was just what it was. It was just, for me, it was very, I'm a proud Dan American, true and true. And realizing with an event like this, there's going to be a bunch of backlash. Like there's going to be people finding stuff to complain about. And again, it brings me to chiropractic where, tomorrow morning I'm doing a talk at the chamber and,
Mhm.
there's going to be people in there that don't believe in, what I'm going to say or start out not believing it. And there's going to be backlash, but that's our walk in life, man.
Yeah, it's just and in a great way. I welcome going upstream. I
Right.
love swimming upstream.
Right.
You know,
You know, it,
because we
it
have a
it's
truth.
and the truth will set you free, right? But it's like you talk about what we have people listening to this all over the country, right? And
World.
there's a lot of countries all over the world, right, that have had our back and that have worked with us and it had commercials and it was showing, the patriots, right, walking in the
Hmm.
mud, making those first steps and it zoomed in on their feet one step at a time where these guys, a lot of them knew they were walking to their death. And they were leaving their spouses, their moms, their dads, and a commitment to a movement, unapologetically, because they knew it was the right thing to do. And when you look at the history of chiropractic, and I was talking to a patient about this today, that, chiropractors went to jail because they said, stood firm for what they believed in.
Yeah, yeah, and the men and women that came before in this country and in this profession, they they sacrificed, they fought, and they built something that they believed in.
Right,
Same thing in
right,
chiropractic. The
right.
founders of this country and chiropractic, they risked so much because of an idea.
Yeah,
They had an
yeah.
idea, they had a belief, and they put it all on the line.
Yeah, and you got to have intestinal fortitude, man. I mean, you're going to step on toes. It's not
Hmm.
everybody's going to agree with what you're doing. You got to make a decision. I mean, people are talking about this. Even people saying, every fighter literally got walked out of the White House, and the last couple fighters got walked out of the Oval Office. We literally had the fighter from Spain coming
Yep.
out of the Oval Office. I thought that was pretty darn cool, bro. I mean, I don't see disrespect. I see we're opening ourselves up to the world
Yep.
of like, let's go.
Yeah, and it just the patriotism watching some of that. Like these
Yeah,
guys are in the Oval Office, and patriotism is not just it's not blind loyalty.
right.
It's appreciation for the people that came before that give us this life.
Well, they would be walking down the hallway and you could see on the wall the picture of every single president.
Hmm. Yep.
Now, I may not have voted for every president. I don't have to fully like everything about every president, but I
Mm-mm.
never disrespected any of them. Like once they got voted in and they became president,
Hmm.
they're like, they're our leader, man. Let's get their back. I mean, we don't have to
Yep.
agree on everything. Like even
Mm-mm.
chiropractors, I don't have to agree on everything that you do in practice, but I
Right.
have freedom to speak about it. You have freedom to speak about it. I know I've done it a ton of time. I did it today on Facebook. There was a young lady looking for a chiropractor in a town, further enough away from me, but the people that were jumping in on the DE page, they're doing shockwave and shit in their office, bro. I'm like, why are you even on this page? Like, come on. This is what we stand for. You don't come to DE. You're hounding around the page and trying to milk business off people. So I put my name in there and I said, look, I'm right here in Venice, and there's no shockwave BS in this office. Like she has a decision to make. I'd rather my patient drive 45 minutes than to deal with that garbage.
Yep. Yep. Today we had a new one drive 2.5 hours from Dalton, and she doesn't have to. I even tried to tell her, I'm like, listen, like there's people close to you. You know, Lieberman's way close. Pat
Yeah.
McCarver's way closer. But for whatever reason, she wants to drive 2.5 hours one way to come get adjusted. And I felt bad, but I didn't. I'm like, well, that's it. You know, try
Well,
back for two and a half hours.
you had enough integrity to bring up those guys and give her options.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she makes her choice her choice. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about choices.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
really, yeah, and it really is just I want her to be in a position where she can get checked by a chiropractor regularly.
Yeah.
It would be hard 5 hours a day, the day you're going to get adjusted, just in the car.
Right.
You know, I want it to be feasible so it can become part of her life.
Part of her lifestyle.
Yeah,
True.
just
Yeah, true,
just
bro.
yeah, and I'm great with them seeing Lieberman, McCarver, anybody
Oh
over
yeah.
there that I'd recommend. Like I'm great with
They're
that.
they're in great hands with them, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But now we'll still take care of them. I just want them to be in a place where they can make it part of their lives. You
And
know,
this
and
is
if she's
probably a
willing to
good
drive that,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
good.
And this is probably a good place to mention, and we had this for years with the Band of Brothers directory, where
Hmm.
we vetted people and had chiropractors all over the world, their names on it. Then we got
Yeah,
hacked by like a Chinese company and we lost it. I mean, I'll have people I
yeah,
don't even know that read my book and I refer to the website and they say, hey, I went to that website and I got like some Chinese encrypted. I'm like, yeah, we got hacked.
yeah.
But we're getting ready to launch the new DE site,
It's coming.
it's coming. It's being worked on.
You know, and it's not going to be just a little preamble. It's not going to be any willy nilly wants to be on there. You've got to
No.
be a principled chiropractor, and I even hate saying principal.
Well, you're going to be vetted. We're going to have a board
Yep.
that sits there, and you're going to have to be referred by somebody solid. You're then
Hmm.
going to get a phone call to the office. Your website's going to be audited, and listen, if you're doing things in a non-chiropractic, you're not going on that site. Period.
Yep. Yep. It's black and
Period.
white,
Yeah.
and it's searchable by zip code. It's searchable by a movable map. Website, social media is on there. Like everything's on there. So it's
Wow.
we should be officially launched at DE or before DE in July.
Yeah, man, listen, I was good enough just having a phone number and address saying, here, they're in Wisconsin, whatever, Swiss Cheese, Wisconsin. Give them a call.
Yep.
You're going the extra yard with all that stuff.
Yep. It's going to
And
be
I
everything.
think we should have a nominal fee because there is website fees and things and all the work that we could take some money where it's an annual, cheaper, affordable fee, but we can use the money to do other promo stuff and things for DE and spreading the principle. And, I want to get green books into all the students' hands. I think that's a big movement we really got to start. I think
Hmm.
we pick, we already give the Meadowlands experience. I think we have to pick another one, maybe Palmer's Law of Life that the board agrees on. And we got to start getting those in the hands of students, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. And get people fired up about this. You know, like
Yeah.
we just had Flag Day. People fired up to be Americans. July 4th is coming up. People got to be fired up to be a dang chiropractor too.
You know what's crazy is because when you really study the history of chiropractic, which is our green books, right?
Hmm.
And I'm like, I was hanging out at the beach yesterday. You can't tell by my face. I'm beet red. And I literally sat under a tent all day until I went in the water. And my mother-in-law brought a flag and hung it up, and she was all excited. It's Flag Day, and I'm like, "What is Flag Day?"
Yeah.
Like, really, like one of my patients. We've become good friends. His name's Chris Paradiso. You're
Hmm.
up in Connecticut. You don't even think it. He owns a massive insurance company, home, car. Great human being. Does a massive event for Flag Day, celebrating the military, etc. So go on YouTube and type in Flag Day Ronald Reagan, a talk he gave. And I
Hmm.
watched it yesterday at about 1 o'clock on the beach. I kid you not. They played it last night during the UFC fight.
That's awesome.
I posted it on my Facebook today. And here's the president of the United States, Reagan. I'm pretty sure he's wearing a T-shirt and a baseball cap that's crooked, talking about Flag Day and honoring our country. It was pretty damn good, bro.
It is. It is. And everybody Google that on YouTube and look up not Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash, Ragged Old Flag. It's a great
Ragged.
song.
Oh,
Ragged
but it
Old
got me
Flag.
thinking, because I'm sitting there. You know what's funny? I pulled out, shoot, what green book was I wearing? I think it was Conflicts Clarify the other day.
Mhm.
And I have all the different dates, years that I've read it. And I think the last time I looked at this book was, I think, 2021. And I can't believe how small the lettering is. Like
I know,
I have
right?
to wear readers now. I'm like, why is this letter? But when you read the history and where, how chiropractic was developed and all the conflicts they were having in the 30s, 40s, 50s,
Mhm.
nothing has really changed other than we are more accepted by other professions all over the world than ever before.
Mhm.
I got medical doctors, pediatricians that come to me, refer to me. It's not a big deal. They don't think I'm a quack. They get it.
Mm.
It's more infighting among the profession.
Yeah, yeah, and it's insane, and what we're teaching the public is insane about
Right,
who we are and what we do.
right,
Great patient. She's been with us for years. I guess it was last week. She just come in. We were talking. It was right before lunch, and she like, "So, what you gonna eat today?" Because you know me, like I love to think about food, dude. Like I love it. And I said something like, "I don't know. We're probably gonna go to Nighthawk and have pizza and wings. I'm not, whatever." And whatever it was, she thought that was not typical of what a chiropractor should be eating. She like, I've never, like, you're not a real chiropractor, is what she said. You're not a real chiropractor. I'm like, how come? I told her to set up. I'm like, how come? Because so many chiropractors now think that diet is a part of chiropractic, and we need to eat good, but we're not selling stuff in the office. I told her in the chiropractic textbook, 1927, Stevenson, Article 173 in the textbook, diet, as it is known, is not chiropractic. And I'm like, we're principal chiropractors here. That means we
right,
follow these 33 principles. That's what we
right.
do. Now,
That's it.
am I eating wings and pizza every day? No, I'm not, but that's what I'm having that day,
That's right.
and my body is clear. I get my blood work done every 9, 10, 12 months, and it's textbook perfect. Textbook
Nice.
perfect. They're like, why do you keep doing that? I'm like, because I just want to see any trends. I want to get ahead of something. If something does start to change, be
Yeah.
like, hey, why is this changing? Maybe I need to do a little bit better. But it's just information's not bad in and of itself.
Right.
But just because I have pizza and wings does not mean that I'm not a real chiropractor,
Yeah. Yeah. Nah,
because
it's
I'm not going to eat kale chips and drink some green grass looking liquid,
unless
you
you want
know?
to be, a, what do they call those things? I don't know, build up your Instagram. I see these chiropractors, showing videos of themselves working out, what meals they're eating, et cetera. And they never talk about chiropractic.
Yeah. And she's like, what do you think about peptides? I'm like, I don't think about them at all.
Right.
Like, I don't, but I know you're
Yeah.
a right atlas,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? I know that. And, we've got to tell the public what we do and why we do it and what we don't do and why we don't do it.
And the thing is, it's not to say that nutrition's not important. I don't know anything about peptides, but I know people that do them. It's really big in Florida. There's clinics all over the place. Tammy works for an IV clinic. There's no pediatric hospital close by, so she goes to people's homes. People with stage 4 cancers, et cetera. She's driving all over the place, goes to Northwood. I think she does peptides and all these things. And I think it greatly helps people. But guess what? She's turning these people around and telling them, you got to come get adjusted and get your atlas taken care of, you know. But go see her. Go see, it's a whole nursing group she works with
Yep.
that's doing all these things. And there's, listen, I know there's got to be value to it. If it. Medicine will work for people at the right time. It's the
Yep.
wrong time when people are raising their kids on a drug for every sniffle or ache or pain, or, they don't let the body adapt. They don't get adjusted. They don't think about their sleep. They don't, all the elements that they don't do. But the biggest thing is if your nervous system's screwed, I don't care if you're a vegetarian, you're in trouble.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So many of those things are beneficial. It's
Right.
great. It's beneficial. We both work out, but I don't coach people on working out. There's people that do that. What a chiropractor does is detect and correct vertebral subluxations.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
it. That's it. There's nothing else for us to do. Now, are other things beneficial? Yeah. I think we need to have a pastor to talk to that we can pours into us. We need to have somebody that we can vent to and maybe even a therapist. We need to have somebody that helps us with our diet, workout partners that like, hey, listen, this is the regimen you need to do if you want to get to this mileage on your bike ride. We need that, but
Yeah.
chiropractors, that's not what we do.
Sierra was up and out of the house by 6:30 this morning. She had a 7 a.m. physical therapy appointment.
Mhm,
And I look at the schedule they've had her on since she's had her ACL surgery because she's going to play lacrosse for Life University starting in October.
mhm,
And the regimen they have her on, the consistency and the commitment she has, which will be about 8 months consistently going 2 to 3 times a week to physical therapy. And her appointment this morning was at 7 o'clock. It was the only time the guy had available for her because the guy she works with is there from 7 to 12 because his wife just had a baby and he wants to be there with the baby in the afternoon. That's pretty incredible. But I remember
it
when I
is.
first met the kid and I went to go meet on the first visit. He's a younger kid, great kid. He used to work with a professional hockey team up in Jacksonville. And I asked him about the shockwave stuff. I said, "Did you guys use that?" He started laughing out loud. He said, "Yeah, we had about $100,000 machine that they put in the athletic trainer's room." He said it sat in the corner and collected dust. We never used it. It was a total joke.
Yep.
I'm like, really? So I'm like, if it's that powerful, why aren't these guys? They don't use this stuff, man. And he
Mm-mm.
said, and I said, I'm a chiropractor. And he kind of hesitated. And I said, that's why I'm asking you because I don't use that stuff. I said, I want to learn about you because I want to refer to you for physical therapy because I don't. He said, you don't do any of that in your office. He said, you're probably the first person around here not to do that. He's
Yep.
probably referred me 20 patients already.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes sense. Like, we take care of 4 physical therapists in the office right now. They come in at least twice a week, usually right at the
Right.
end of the day because they're busy cranking, and one of 'em will text me, be like, "Hey, can we pop in?" They're all in the same clinic. "Can we pop in?" Like, "Yeah, dude, come on. We're waiting on you. Take your time. Don't drive fast. We're here."
And if you look at our whole history, that was BJ Palmer's message.
Yep.
Keep chiropractic chiropractic. Let's focus on chiropractic and bring it worldwide. He traveled around the world spreading this message. Kings and queens and princesses and people in the ghetto. He went all over the place adjusting people, explaining chiropractic.
Yeah, and he wasn't doing it. He did it because he had conviction. What happened when we trade that conviction for convenience? Like, oh well, I'm
Yeah,
not going to say that. I'm not going to get that patient up and explain to them exactly what principled chiropractic is. I don't want it to be awkward.
yeah,
And then it's like I think sometimes so many people are embarrassed by our own identity.
right.
They're embarrassed by what we
There's
do.
that's a mouthful there, man. Embarrassed by our identity. We should be darn proud of our identity. I think that's what I walked away with from last night, staying up till 1 in the morning. And if you
Yeah,
fell asleep, you probably missed one of the greatest fights of all time. That last fight between this guy Justin Gage and the guy from Spain was absolutely insane.
it was.
What a hell of a fight. And the doctor tried stopping the fight after the third round, and the ref basically wouldn't let him. Said, no, get out of the ring. And the guy went and fought another round and sat down. The guy couldn't even see. He was blinded. And what a
Mhm.
heart of a lion. But, the whole event itself, and then the fireworks afterward, and just, seeing all the military guys and the Marine the band playing and the music was like the standard was just out of this world. There was no lack of pride anywhere in
No.
the event. And I'm like, we need that in our damn profession. Over 130 years professing these principles, like you mentioned, the 33 principles. We got to start teaching the students in the world about this. God bless
Yeah,
you.
and thank you. Thank you. He has, brother. And if we're not proud of chiropractic, why should anybody else be?
That's right.
Why should anybody else be if we're not? We can go out at lunch or whenever and we'll see a patient that's with somebody, they'll be like, "Oh, hey, look, here's my chiropractors. Here's my chiropractors," because they're so proud to introduce us to their friends. And all those little things, they add up. They add up. It all counts every time.
It's funny you say be proud because I'm pretty darn proud of chiropractic in our profession and fighting for it. And we have a woman that comes to us. She's a bit older. My office right now, they've ripped out the entire plumbing. I've had no toilets, no water for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks now. The toilet bowl is right outside my table four with it had 3 feet of dirt sitting there on the floor. Disgusting. And they couldn't get enough pitch, so they had to cut through the front entrance, the cement. So this morning we showed up. They have the whole front entrance roped off. They had put plywood over it, and the rain washed it out. So basically created a crater. So we had to drive up on the right side of the lawn, tight to the mailbox to get around it to get into the parking lot. So we sent out a morning text at 8:30. We are open. Good, blah, blah, blah. First patient comes in. This old lady comes walking in the door and says, "Are you open?" I'm like, "Yeah, you just walked in." She said, "Oh, I parked across the street because the front was closed." I said, "Well, do you not get the text?" And she said, "No." And I'm like, "Shit." The next guy comes in and he said, "Yeah, I had to park down the road. The plumbers told me I had to park down the road." I said, "No, you don't, man. You drive right up on the lawn." And he goes, "No problem. Nothing's stopping me from coming in." Like nothing was stopping this woman who was like 80 years old. She parked across the street and walked to come get adjusted at
Uh-huh.
8:45. This guy came in at 8:50. He's like, "I parked up the road not because he wanted to get away from all their trucks." So we had to walk outside and hang a little sign from the post that said, "Open, drive this way." And now that I think about it, we had our busiest Monday in about 3 weeks because we lost all the damn snowbirds, but we've been getting a bunch of locals. Today was our busiest. And it was like, you talk about, they're only obstacles if you allow them to be,
Yeah.
right? It's only negativity if you allow the negativity. I got negative for a minute, like, shit, no one's going to come in. They're going to think we're closed. They got it all taped off. And it
Mhm.
was our busiest Monday in 3 weeks, bro.
It's wild, and that's the thing, like that that negative mindset can change everything.
Uh,
The fields are white with the harvest.
Yeah.
The
And listen,
fields are,
I had a negative moment, bro. I walked in this morning and it smelled so bad.
yeah.
I did a group text. I got my business partner, Mike Coster, and the landlord, and I said, "Hey, good morning. Stick your thumb up your ass, put it by your right nostril, and then proceed to get on with your day." That's what I'm dealing with this morning. And he
Mhm.
didn't respond for a while. And Coster like messaged me privately, "Bro, is it that bad?" I said, "This is like insane. Like, and you're
Two
not
and
going
a
to let the
half, three
patient."
weeks.
Bro, like you can't, like you're gonna get negative. You're gonna get fired up, but I knew mentally I had to get it off my chest. And now I got to get back to being positive because we got to take care of people. So it's
Yeah.
like, you're going to be negative. You're going to get pissed. You're going to be fired up. I mean, you look at the patriotism videos they were showing where these guys, they had to fight for something,
Mhm.
right? You're not going to hug it out all the time. There's times where there's going to be challenges. And I think our profession, we could disagree on shockwave. Don't shoot me for it. Shoot the message. Like, don't get pissed off of me. Voice your opinion back to me. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. We could disagree to disagree, but just understand if we want to change people's lives and build this profession up to the point and the standard we always know it should be,
Yeah.
we got to get the principle out there
Yeah. And get it out there quick and to everybody.
to everybody.
They say what 10 to 12% of people utilize chiropractic. That's not under current chiropractic care. That's 10 to 12% would consider it if they thought they needed to under long-term principled lifetime chiropractic principled care. I would say is less than 2%, maybe 1% of the population in the US. That's sad. That's sad.
So,
We are our own competition. I would love it if another chiropractor opened up in little tiny Maryville. We're good.
we have an IFCO philosophy event coming on. You got me
Mhm.
thinking online, right?
Mhm.
And when you and I are in school, you didn't sit there and watch Sigafus on Zoom. If I
Mm-mm.
heard that Sigafus was in New Jersey, we jumped in a car and piled in a car and we drove there to listen to him and to whatever, he started at 8 at night and finished at midnight. We listened to him and then we drove back home and got home
Yep.
at 3 in the morning.
Yep.
And we were excited. We have this event coming up with the ISCO, and I'll pull up the dates if you don't remember them. But you got speakers from all over the world sharing for a
Mhm.
couple days that people could tap into and be inspired, like get connected to pure chiropractic.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking up the dates now. July 25th and July 26th.
Yeah, go to my social media. I'm posting how to sign up for it. It's a cheap fee for DCs, even cheaper for students.
Mhm.
You got to get dipped. We always talk about being dipped in this stuff.
Yeah.
and getting around people who are actually doing the work, and then, feeding off of our entire history of what we've done as a profession. Like, we got to start being real darn proud.
Yeah, and put in the work, put in the time. Like, take those trips, get on that Zoom call. Like, it's a Zoom call. You can get on your phone. Get
Yeah,
on the thing and plug in. Have a notepad with you. Take notes. Like, it's
yeah,
go time.
yeah, yeah.
It's go time. It's time to get connected. Come to DE. Show up. Not just show up Saturday morning and then leave, Sunday morning or Saturday night. Like,
Right.
come for DE. Stay in the room.
That's right.
It's
Listen, you connect.
yeah,
But listen, my
what
man,
I would give now to drive to New York or to Florida or Pennsylvania to go hear Sigafoose or Dick Santo or Reggie Gold, Joe Recurso, any of these guys. I would go get in my car right now if I could hear them one more time in person. I would close the office the rest of the week and take off because I know being there changed my life and it changed yours too.
and the ones that are out there doing it, it's your time to step up and let your voice be heard.
Yep.
And I have a guy who really, he's killing in practice, and he's a pure DE lasting purpose kid. He was at Life at the time they were losing their accreditation, and he just went off on an island of his own and built an amazing family in practice. He was like, I want to get involved. I want to help. I said, you got to just show up. Start showing up to DE. DE is not a place where we'll just bring in a speaker for the sake of we're trying to get a crowd. We're pretty
Mhm.
loyal to our followers and people that have grown up there and been committed to it. And I
Yep.
and I told him, start just coming regularly, and he'll get noticed, and you'll eventually get your chance to get plugged in. But you
Mhm.
think about the names you just said. Like today, we had a pregnant woman come in, and I we were talking about Webster technique because the baby had been breached. We did Webster, the baby flipped. She's due in 2 weeks, and I said, I was talking with my associate doc. I said, Larry was my teacher. I hung out with him. But back
Mhm.
then, the Webster technique was only if you were breached. Now they're doing it like every visit. And it's just
Yep.
to open up the pelvic girdle, and which was challenging for me to understand. So I'm like, well, is that how Larry would have done it? But people talk about Fred Barge. I'm like, Fred Barge was one of my philosophy teachers. I
Mhm.
hung out with Fred Barge, had lunch with dinner with Fred Barge.
Mhm.
Like it's almost like really honorable to be able to say, I hung out with them. I knew them. Who's
Yep.
going to be that in your life? Like you want to be able to say, I knew Drew Henderson. I hung out with Drew
Mhm.
Henderson. That guy
Mhm.
really, man, he said this and this and this. Because
Yep.
then you could carry on the purest of pure messages to the next generation. And that's really, to me, what it's all about. That's what I saw with the 250 last night, with Trump basically saying, you know what, screw this. We're putting on a big celebration for America, regardless if there's haters, but there's more lovers of it. And it brought a hell of a lot of pride back to this country. We need that in chiropractic, man, instead of people just having their own damn agenda.
Yeah, and there's always going to be haters. Like Dr. Sid said over and over again, do it, they'll talk anyway.
That's right.
Just do it,
That's
they'll
right.
talk anyway. And
Yeah.
just about we were talking about not being ashamed and being patriotic for chiropractic. Our patients know about what Dynamic Essentials is. They know
Right.
what DE is. They're
Yeah.
excited for us to leave to go to DE.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
one family we saw the other day while we was eating lunch, they come over there, a grandma, somebody, I think it was a grandma, whoever was with them, like, hey, these are my chiropractors. They're at this event like 4 or 5 times a year called Dynamic Essentials. They call it DE, and it is literally saving chiropractic. It is
Yeah.
saving the profession, and it's okay that patients know that.
Right.
You
That's right.
know,
I've had patients come to it. You've had patients come to it.
Yep. Yeah, I love
It's
it.
wild.
I love it when they get connected. Last patient that came, he's in like eighth or ninth quarter now, chiropractic school.
Really?
Yep. He went to school at Piedmont with
Oh, that kid.
Sierra.
Yeah. Okay. He's a
Yep.
tennis player.
Yep. So he's getting through there.
Hey, I'm looking for a young, dynamic, someone who's got a lot of energy chiropractor to join me in Venice, Florida. I have a lot of work to do in this profession and traveling and speaking and things I want to do that I want someone working alongside me because Dr. Christie, we're going to be opening up in Clearwater. I tried talking her into it, but she's already got her feet, cemented into Clearwater.
Hmm.
Anyone listening, I need someone in Venice with me that wants to just learn, grow, take it over, work alongside of me, make that our mecca for the South while our training happens. Because I got to get out there, man. I want to get on these campuses. I want to get to the schools. They asked me to speak at Life Assembly. It's like on a Tuesday, and it's the Tuesday that I want to go. It's the week at DE. So I'm like, well, I'll go Tuesday, speak, and then stay down there, go visit you, go hang out with Lieberman, and then drive
Mhm.
up to DE for the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, like we're cranking so much in the office, we don't have much time to
Right,
really pour into this profession as much as we want. We do a lot
right,
already,
right,
but we want
right,
to do
right,
more.
right. Yeah, we got to do more, bro. I know I got to do more.
We
I'm just
do.
speaking
We
for
do.
myself. I got a lot of work to do, and I got to be freed up. And I'm putting out there the universe now. Let's bring in a dynamic, fired up individual. I
Mhm.
got Dr. Christie now. If I can keep her, I'm all set, man. So if anyone listening to this, help me out. But it's we got to bring we've got pride in chiropractic. It's out there. I've spoken in enough places to know there's pockets of people all over the place. And
Mhm.
anyone listening, that's why I'm going to tell you: get involved with the IFCO. Let's get you known around people. Let's build relationships. Show up at DE. Let's get to know each other, and let's get you out there speaking. Let's get you going to the schools. Let's get you handing
Mhm.
out green books. We need to
Mhm.
be, I don't know, man. Like, what's a wild animal that travels in packs of wolves and just going all over the place, spreading this message and having fun, man? Seeing people get the principle and families getting adjusted, transforming lives. Damn, you got me fired up, Drew.
Yeah, dude, and like you said, it's fun. It's
Yeah,
fun turning people on
right,
when afterwards they're just like, "Man, I felt like I was the only one in the room. I can't wait to get back. My office has changed tonight, and I'm not
right,
even in my town, but it's
right.
changed tonight."
100%. 100%.
Shit, I'm getting chills. Dang,
Yeah.
crazy, man. It's I'm ready for DE, dude. I am so freaking ready for DE.
The DE's date is when?
July 16th through the 19th at what Marriott? What is that? Perimeter.
Perimeter Marriott? Yeah, I know
Yeah,
I always lose the name of that. Even when I fly in, I got to screenshot it on my phone.
I know. I'm like, what is that? It's Perimeter Center Marriott right there. Marta
Yeah.
comes right there to us.
Marta goes right there. Yeah, it's a great spot. It's close to the school. We got a good crowd already. We had our board meeting. Katrina was talking about we got a good crowd. We got great speakers. We got a good speaker lineup kind of thing.
Gonna be a
So I'm
crazy
looking
lineup.
forward to it. Yeah.
Crazy lineup.
All right, my man. I'm gonna go do a workout here. It's good talking to you, brother. You're
Yeah,
awesome.
man. Love y'all, and we will see you soon.
Amen, brother. Love you.
Yeah, love y'all.